So today I'm going to inform the audience of the 3 best TV sitcoms of all time. Because the current state of the world, I thought that I would dive deep into a topic that can assist you in picking your next form of entertainment. It is quite possible that many of you have already seen a lot of these shows that I'm going to talk about, but for those of you who haven't seen them or any one of them, you're welcome because they're great. So sitcoms can be watched out of order, in order, from the beginning, middle to end. There's no way or which you watch them, but if you do have time since you're stuck inside, I would watch one from the beginning to the end. So the 3 best TV sitcoms, I won't say of all time, but I think of my time, are The Friends, That 70s Show, and The Office. Unfortunately, in the new year, not only did we inherit a worldwide pandemic, but Netflix decided to take Friends off of their streaming service. So you can watch That 70s Show and The Office on Netflix, but you're gonna have to try and catch a Friends episode on TV. So today I'm going to inform you of why Friends, That 70s Show, and The Office are the best TV sitcoms of my time, and why you should watch one from beginning to the end. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Friends. So Friends is one of the most popular TV sitcoms of all times and includes a group of 6 friends who live in New York City. Each episode has a mini storyline that ties into the bigger storyline. So there's romance between some, fighting, and a lot of shit talking that goes on between them. And most importantly, it will make you laugh. So there are 6 main characters. It's Rachel, who's played by Jennifer Aniston. Monica, she's played by Courtney Cox. And then Phoebe, Ross, Chandler, and Joey. So the humor in the show is just a lot of weird stuff happens, and a lot of stuff that is relatable that you laugh at because maybe it's happened to you before, or maybe it hasn't. They mess with each other a lot, so it's funny to see their reactions to one another. The emotional investment that you'll get is the relationships between the characters. Some of them are romantic, some of them are just friendly, and some of them are even family members. So there is a lot of a big storyline that you can follow about their lives, their jobs, their relationships, and you can get invested to each of the characters. The second show I'm going to talk about is That 70s Show. So if you ever wanted to know what it was like to live in the 70s era in high school, which would be fun just because it's like the hippie era, that's what you would be watching. They like smoke weed in the basement, steal their dad's beers, drive to concerts, like just funny stuff that a lot of people can relate about. The characters are Jackie, which is played by Mila Kunis. Kelso, which is like her boyfriend at the beginning of the show and stuff, is played by Ashton Kutcher, and Donna, Eric, Hyde, and Fez. So the humor, there's a lot of sarcasm in the show from Eric mostly, but a lot of the characters. They also fight, and it's funny to see how they pan out. They're in high school, so they get into funny predicaments that a lot of people can relate about, like sneaking out, and then most of the time they get caught by their parents. And some of the parents actually have their own storyline, which is funny to watch as well. So your emotional investment, so there's relationships in this show. One that will stick out a lot. They're best friends, and since they have to graduate high school, you see what happens to them afterward. And you never really know what's going to happen next, or they're going to get caught, or it's going to go into the next part of the show, and you see what happens with their parents, which is really fun. The next show that I'm going to talk about is The Office. So The Office is one of my personal favorite shows of all time, and it will make you laugh like no other. It takes place in the office of an East Coast paper company, and you follow the lives of the workers who work in the East Coast paper company. And there's just a lot of things that are just simply like inappropriate in it, and it's funny to get the humor that they talk about and how simply just inappropriate it is. And there's just some obscure jokes that if you catch them, then they're great, and if you don't, like, you can go back and understand what they mean later. The characters include Michael Scott, which is played by Steve Carell, which, you know, we think is one of the funniest comedians ever, but Jim, Dwight, Kevin, Ryan, Andy, Stanley, Oscar, Toby, Creed, and Daryl, Pam, Angela, Kelly, Meredith, Phyllis, Erin, Karen, and least importantly, Jan. So the humor in the show includes their one-liners that compare to no other. If you are a fan of Step Brothers, that's something maybe to compare to, might be even better. There's a hilarious feud between Jim and Dwight that lasts the whole entire show and never ends, so you can continue watching that. So Dwight Schrute, who we talked about just now, is the funniest character you're ever watching. He's just super random and inappropriate, and it's pretty funny. And so Michael Scott, who again is played by Steve Carell, is the boss of the paper company and has absolutely no idea what he's doing or knows how to be a boss. So it's pretty funny. Last humor that it has is there are single and double interviews on the side. So it's like there's a camera crew seeing what they do. Emotional investment is it will make you laugh and cry. There's relationships that go off the screen that are so cute. There are friendships that form and alliances, and everybody knows their personal lives. So in summary, that Friends, that 70s Show, and The Office are the best TV sitcoms of all time because of their characters, the humor, and the emotional investment. So hopefully you can watch one or two of these.